Hi there folks, welcome. You just caught me here, some mugs that I did yesterday. I didn't really get round to making a lot of them, but meanwhile these ones that are here on the board are ready now actually to be handled. What I do is at this stage I need to check that they're round. So if you take a round object such as that with slightly tapering, just go along your board, just push it in like this, which will, in case there's any, if they go a bit oval. Alright, so we do that. This one is actually a round one because I was making that shape. And then I got a pressing order to make some of the other shapes, so I suddenly had to switch. So at this stage, what I'm going to do now is thumb them off. So I just, with a sponge, okay, go around the bases like that. Now, if you have put in an undercut when you threw the pots, when you made them, if you used your throwing stick, you'd put in a nice little 45-degree bevel on the underside there, which at this stage is going to really help us to get them nicely fettled and finished off. Okay, so with a sponge, simply like this, and my fingers running down the board. Okay.
Do you do an indent in the center at the same time?
Sorry?
What? Do you do an indent in the center so it won't end up with a hump in the middle?
No. No, I don't. I don't generally have that problem with a hump in the middle.
Okay.
So there we are, they are now ready for the handles. So I've got some clay here ready, and I'll put that over there, and I'm just going to quickly just pull a few handles and just lay them here. I'll put them on. So pulling your handle, pulling the clay down evenly, yeah. You draw it down, pulling it, make sure it's nicely wet when you do this. Hope we're in the picture, I think we are. It's better to have clay that's, for pulling handles, that's slightly on the stiff side rather than stuff that's too soft. I'll pull down a fair nice amount. And when you pull, make sure you pull right off the end, okay? Don't stop before you get to the end. Keep your hand wet and the clay wet. That's the secret. And you see I'm alternating from there to there. If you can see this cross section between my fingers there, that's basically the cross section of the handle. So when you've got a nice long, even, very slightly tapering in its width as it comes down. It's very slight, the taper. Right, the next thing to do is we're going to chop this handle off. So when I'm then satisfied with that, I lay it across the board like that and chop him off vertical on the end. Just adjust the camera down there a bit. Okay, so that's it. So I keep on pulling down the next one. You have to exert a sort of a controlled pressure here between my thumb and index finger here And that's it. Lay him across the board, pull him to the edge, and off with his head. And the next one. Pulling handles is something you get by practicing. It's like centering. It's like kneading. It's one of those things that doesn't come immediately. You have to you have to keep practicing it. Sorry to say that, but it's true. So much of this pottery stuff is a case of just keep practicing it, laying it across like that, bringing it up and chopping it off. And make sure when you chop it off, you chop it off vertically. That's actually quite important, because when we come to applying the handle onto the side of the mug or the jug or whatever it happens to be, you want to have that sort of 90-degree. Yeah, there we are. Pull him to in position and off with his head. Now when you're pulling your handles, sometimes it's convenient to pull perhaps one or two extras, because while you've got the clay there in your hand, it's just easy to pull down another one. But if you suddenly find that you're short, or that you've got to the end of your handles and you've still got one or two more mugs there to handle, it's then a bit of a hassle to have to get the clay out again. So pull a couple of extras, no harm. You probably won't need them. Ha ha. Says he. Well, when you get better at it, you probably won't need them, but when you're starting out, you probably will. So, well, I've done 6. I've got 5 to do, but I've done 6. So that's done. Now these handles I won't be applying them right now onto the pots, because they're still just freshly pulled and they're a bit wet and slimy. I just like them to just harden off very slightly. So I'll come back to those in half an hour and do the second part of this clip. Okay folks, go for it, keep practicing. See you around.